I get. I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
Welcome back, eSIM Studios podcast live stream episode number 227. I want to thank you for joining me on this Thursday early afternoon. What is it? The 24th of October. I want to apologize for yesterday's live stream. I went back. I always go back and listen to the episode to make sure everything sounds good for you, the viewer, and it did not sound good. I had a bunch of audio issues, so I do want to make sure. I'm running a new format, so I do want to make sure. I'm going to make this sort of like 5 o'clock news, right? Sort of like you'll see me implement some stuff that you're used to seeing on Fox News, CNN, your local 5 o'clock news. I'm going to try to run some graphics, trying to implement some stories that, so we can get to more stories, because a lot of times I'll only do 1, 2, maybe 3 stories, but a lot of times there's 4 or 5 stories that I want to get to, but the old format would have just taken forever. So I don't have that long, neither do you, but I do want to get to the tech news. So I'm going to bring more of a news format and turn this into a news-based live stream. We'll also have discussions and implement your comments as well. Daniel, how's it going, sir? Let me make sure my audio is good, because, man, yesterday was a disaster. Sounds like it's good, right? No popping, no interruptions, nothing like that y'all are experiencing? Okay, sounds like we're good. I don't know what the issue was yesterday. I'm running. It sounds good. Okay, perfect. Yeah. I was on my Chromebook yesterday, and I think I'm going to retire that from doing this sort of thing. So I'm currently on this new HP OmniBook with the Snapdragon X Plus. Things been wonderful. Knock on wood. I said that last time, the first day I was using the Book 4 Edge, and it bit the dust the very next day. So knock on wood, all the programs worked. Before I even got this live stream set up, I got all my programs I need to run for my online businesses. All the programs I need to live stream, to make graphics and do all this and make videos, do all that. Everything runs perfect. So I've been very impressed. This is actually the cheapest Snapdragon X machine you can buy. $599. It was a steal. I was like, what? Purchased it. Went through everything this morning and set up the whole thing. It's very snappy. Wi-Fi's strength is good. Ethernet signal's good. I have my USB Type-C extender in. Everything's working great. Programs, no hiccups. I've been very impressed. For $599, you can't beat it, right? And I just need something to get me through. I'm going to probably buy a more high-performance one right around the new year. So here in a couple months, I'm getting some mini PCs in that I'm going to use probably for desktop usage, and you might see me live stream on that. I just needed something to take outside the office, to take outside the home, from room to room, inside the home, and this little OmniBook is perfect, man. With the Snapdragon X Plus, I can't tell the difference in performance at all between the X Plus and the X Elite, and best of all, battery life. Here's the thing, and we'll get into the news in a second. Battery life, if you're interested in getting a Snapdragon X laptop, whether it's an X Plus or an X Elite, so much gets talked about the X Elite CPU, right? Because it's so powerful and this and that, and I agree. However, the X Plus, look, again, I don't play games. Now, I do need it for video rendering. I do need something relatively powerful for video editing. I'm going to try to step up my video editing skills, right? I do have them. I'm just so busy I don't have time to do it, but I'm really going to try to put effort in my uploaded content, where I'm not just going to record a video on my phone and then upload it. I'm going to try to do more visually appealing videos. So, but getting back to the Snapdragon X machines, don't overlook the X Plus, right? I think it has one core less than the X Elite. We can probably go back and look, but probably waste of time. Look, it's just a little less powerful. However, you get similar performance, but a big boost in battery life. And that's what I've noticed. I've had it charged. I fully charged it last night, and I have not even plugged it in once. And I'm running my stream right now on battery power. And I would never ever do that with a Chromebook or even my HP ProBook, or we have a Lenovo Yoga here in the home. Would never consider running a live, because live streams takes a lot of battery power, right? It is Chrome based, but I'm running videos, I'm running music, I'm running graphics, upstream. There's a lot of network connectivity frequencies. You got a ton of stuff downloading to your PC, and then you're also uploading a stream. So your download and upload speeds are both just maxed out when you do live streams, and it really drains the battery. And again, I haven't even considered plugging this thing in. So I hope my estimations are right that battery life on this Snapdragon X Plus variant is going to be superb. So day one, it appears to my estimations are correct. I don't know what it's on. What are we at? 61%. I'm at 61% battery life, and I haven't had it plugged in. I did a full charge when I got home. Usually on all my devices, no matter what they're at, I'll plug it in to 100%. I'll let it drain to 0. I'll let it max out that battery, and then go from there. So the battery life appears to be good. And I did a lot. I've been on my PC all morning, basically for the last 6 hours. And I'm at, 61%? Yeah, something like that. 6 hours? Maybe 4 or 5 hours. But still, I'm looking at over 10 hours of screen on time with this laptop. I never get that on anything I've ever had. So, Carlos, thank you for joining us. You're not going to talk about the new G5 leak? Yeah, stay tuned. If you just joined us, we're going to not necessarily redo the live stream, but I'm going to bring more of a news format. We're going to get to it in just a second. I just wanted to say hi to everybody in the chat. It's going to look like your normal 5 o'clock news. I'm going to try to make it more visually appealing. I went back and listened to yesterday's live stream, and it was just, I was embarrassed. Like, it just looked so shitty. So I do apologize. I promise I'm going to put more effort into this. So it's going to look good. I have that in the lineup, so just stay tuned. Trust me, we're a Pixel channel, so any Pixel news that comes out, I'm going to carry it. Daniel says he was playing with some of the Snapdragon X laptops at Best Buy. Was impressed with how snappy the entire interface feels. x86 machines felt sluggish by comparison, just getting around the desktop. I was noticing this morning. I was just telling my wife. I was like, come in here for a sec. I mean, I'm a nerd. She is too, but I'm like to the max. And I was like, look how fast and snappy this thing is. Every program I open, every program I close, there's you're right, on a lot of the x86 machines and the laptops we use in here are, when you open a program, buffers for a little while, and then it'll open. Everything is snappy. That's what's most blown. And I didn't have and that's with the Plus. I have the X Plus, and I didn't really have the Book 4 Edge long enough to experience that, because with this new one, I didn't want the same thing to happen, although I think it was a fluke with the last one. I was kind of farting around on it, this and that. But first thing I did this morning on this, man, I was loading programs. I was saying, okay, let me test this out. Let me put everything I use on a daily basis. Let me load it up on here. Restarted it. Got all the updates up to date. And then I opened up each and every program I use. And I typically need at least 32 gigs. I've been very, very pleased. Here's something nobody talks about. I've been very impressed with the RAM management on these X Elite machines. How much RAM where am I at right now? Well, I closed everything out just to run. When I run these live streams, I'll close everything out that I don't need and just run what I need for these live streams. But I think I was only at, I checked earlier, and this is the 16 gig variant. Out of out of these 16 gigs, I think I was only using 57%, which is amazing. Normally, when I have everything opened up on a typical x86, I'm like on a 16 gig model, I'm 91%, 92%, 90. I mean, I'm maxed out. So I think the interesting thing with these Snapdragon CPUs with these Orion cores, if you look up if you actually go, and I think here's what's going on. If you look at the structure of this chip, the RAM is technically soldered on, right, to the motherboard. Now, you'll hear that in reviews, but actually, technically, if you go, because I went to go back and looked at the structure of this CPU, technically, I don't want to say that's false. Technically, the DRAM, the LPDDR5X RAM, is actually integrated into the CPU, which you do not see on a lot of x86 machines. The CPU, the CPU and the RAM are completely separate, right? That's how you can some of the RAM is interchangeable, some of it is literally soldered to the motherboard. With these Snapdragon chips, the RAM is actually inside the CPU, which allows for better transfer rates, better transfer speeds, better communication between the data and the random access memory. I think there's something to do with that, and I'm going to look into that more. But I've never seen that before, where the RAM is literally connected to the CPU. And I think that's where you're seeing a lot of this performance. I mean, again, I normally need 32. And I bought it because that's what I was wondering, because they do have a 32 gig variant of this device. And I was like, of course I can always return it, but I wanted to try this first to see if I could, because why buy because I think 32 gig version of 32 gigs of RAM of this was $599. This is a steal. Brand new. I think the 32 gig was jumped up a lot. Right, because there was a special sale on this 32 gig of this book is probably $899, $900. So I was like, you know what? Let me try this, and if it don't work, I'll return it and get the 32 gig. I don't think I'm going to need a 32 gig, honestly. I've been blown away by the RAM management on these Snapdragon machines. Very, very snappy, and that probably goes to show why these devices are so snappy, right? It's because everything is integrated with each other, right? Everything's right lined up, perfectly synced up. So I've been on this for a couple hours, and I'm blown away. Well, 5 hours, and I'm blown away. Like, this thing it feels like I'm using a phone. Like, it's that snappy. Every program I pull up, boom. There's no lag. There's no buffering. Nothing. Now, will it get to that point, a year from now? Well, I'm probably not going to have this a year from now, but I may give it to my daughter. I don't know, but maybe. But time will tell. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's jump into the news. Let me clear my throat. Allergies, Jesus, I cannot wait to get out of here. We're looking to move here in the next year or two, and I cannot wait, man. Hang on. Okay, new format here. So let's get into the news for the day. I got about we'll do quick hits. So I'm trying not to make this long. This format, we should be able to get more news stories in. For the first 5-10 minutes, I'll talk with y'all in the chat and say what's hello and what's going on and all that good stuff. And then probably for the last 15-20 minutes, we'll go through these stories for the day. I do have OxygenOS OnePlus news. I do have NSA news. NSA news, everybody needs to know. We have iPhone news. We have Google Pixel news, Tensor, G5, and G6 news. We have iOS news, right? So let's get to it. OxygenOS. OxygenOS. Did anybody watch that launch that they had? Did anybody watch? They had basically OxygenOS launch where they discussed it. I missed it. There was no promotion of it or anything, but I went to go watch it this morning, and pretty interesting. Now, if it looks familiar, I'll probably link that video in the video description of this after we're done if you want to go watch it. But why watch it when you can just get the news here, right? So OxygenOS 15, it's the latest update for OnePlus devices. Is set to enhance user experience significantly with a stronger emphasis on AI functionality, what's new, and improved overall performance. Now, what are some of the key points from their launch of OxygenOS 15? You guessed it, AI integration. OxygenOS 15 introduces numerous AI features, including camera enhancements, like AI detail boost for image upscaling and AI unblur for sharpening blurry videos and photos. Performance optimization, another big selling point for this OxygenOS 15. The update promises up to a 20% reduction in size. 20% reduction in size compared to OxygenOS 14 by removing redundant features from inside the operating system and inside the kernel, thus improving the performance of supported OnePlus devices. They also put an emphasis on improved animation down the pipeline, right? The update features parallel processing, quote unquote, which enhances animation handling for a smoother experience when switching between applications. It was very, very smooth. If you go back and watch it, it may look pretty familiar. Sort of looks like iOS as far as the animations. That's just my opinion. I don't know. You may want to go and check it out for yourself, but seem eerily similar to iOS. Nonetheless, they also implemented new search capabilities. Intelligent search and circle to search will allow users to easily find and organize content across system apps. System apps, not third-party apps, system apps. Enhanced Notes application. I love OnePlus Notes. That's one of my favorite OnePlus system apps. Same thing with Samsung Notes, right? Those two are my favorite. Google needs to step their notes game up because OnePlus looks like they're going to kill it with this new Enhanced Notes application. The AI Notes feature will automatically summarize and refine notes, helping users to maintain clarity and structure in their writing. Lord knows, being online all day seems like the days of structured writing and proper spelling and punctuation has gone out the window. And me in college taking some English and writing courses, it bugs me to death seeing people misspelling words on purpose, not putting punctuation on purpose. I still do it to this day, no matter what. So I always try to properly spell, properly punctuize, put proper punctuation in my sentence structure. I know that may look foreign to many of y'all, but that's just the way I was growing up, and I'm not going to give in to the new generation that purposely misspells stuff. So OnePlus and their new Enhanced Notes application will get you back to the old school days and have you looking rather professional if you happen to share those notes with anybody, right? Now, I was talking about NSA. Now, this is a very interesting story. Now, NSA, the National Security Administration, they've put out a notice for everybody. There's been a lot of, as we move into the future, there seems to be more and more hacks. There seems to be more and more of your data compromised, right? Whether you're a target or not, or they just stumble upon your device and your information. the National Security Administration is advising all smartphone users to reboot their devices regularly to enhance security, but this measure is not foolproof against all threats. Now, this goes for not only iPhone users, but it goes for Android users, even tablet users. If you're running any version of Android, any version of Chrome OS, if you're running any version of iOS, any version of any mobile technology device and operating system, it is imperative to reboot your device once a day. So security vulnerabilities. Smartphones have become popular targets for cyber threats, including cyber threats, leading organizations like the NSA to issue guidelines on how users can protect their data. This is why rebooting daily is important. It can help remove non-persistent malware and improve device performance, but they're not necessarily worried about the performance. The NSA is worried about the malware, right? It's not a comprehensive solution to all cybersecurity issues. The NSA provided clear pictorial security recommendations that suggest strong passwords, regular updates, and avoiding risky behaviors like clicking unknown links, like zero-click exploits. The emergence of zero-click malware, which can be activated without the user doing anything. All they have to have is your phone number. They send you that attack package to your device, and you're screwed. These zero-click exploits possess a significant challenge in mobile security, reinforcing the need to update devices swiftly when vulnerabilities are reported. Cyber Essentials Scheme. This is the UK government Cyber Essentials Scheme, which is now named, has it proven effective in reducing cyber attack claims by 92% among accredited organizations, highlighting the importance of implementing secured, structured security measures, right? So the U.S. has been very popular in the U.K. with their security agencies telling people over and over again, check for updates, update your device, reboot your phone once a day. Because this multi-layered approach between both the end user and the organizations should adopt a multi-layered security strategy rather than relying solely on people like you and I or people like me to remind you, the viewer, about these threats, right? As cyber threats evolve, staying informed about the latest security practices and regularly updating devices is essential for maintaining protection. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, their new security proposals set a necessary foundation for protecting sensitive data against threats. Basic certifications such as Cyber Essentials may not prove sufficient defense against sophisticated cyber attacks, emphasizing the need for enhanced measures and regular assessments. Ultimately, the responsibility for maintaining cybersecurity rests with users, who must stay vigilant and proactive in managing potential threats in their devices. So, keeping these two things, keeping your devices updated regularly and rebooting your devices once a day is imperative to thwarting these attacks. Because you say, well, why I have to keep my device updated, check for updates, all the security updates, right? That's one of the reasons why I love using Pixel, most secure device on the planet. But here's a little unknown fact about zero-click attacks. Not many people know. So if you are a victim of a zero-click attack, if you reboot your device, the hackers have to resend that attack to your phone again. Once you reboot your device, it kicks the threat, the hack, out of your kernel and resecures your device. So that's why not many people know that rebooting your device once a day is imperative, because if you do get a zero-click attack, as I just mentioned, I'm going to repeat it. If you reboot your device, it kicks that attack out of your device, out of the kernel, and they have to send that attack to you once again. So rebooting checking for security updates, very, very imperative. Personally, I reboot every single device I have once a day. Get in a rhythm, right? Best thing to do is when you wake up in the morning, if you set your alarm on your phone and you wake up in the morning, you get up while you're brushing your teeth, or literally when you turn off your alarm and you get up out of bed on your feet, hit reboot on your phone. I'm not talking about turning the screen off. There's so many people, they think rebooting it just means turn your screen off. No, like physically power it off and wait a few seconds and power it back on, or just hit reboot on your device if you have an Android phone. So very imperative. Just wanted to make that point for everybody. iPhone SE nears mass production. We're getting close to that time, guys. So, production is getting close. The upcoming 4th generation iPhone SE is set to begin mass production in December, with an expected release date in early 2025. Suppliers will start mass production of the iPhone SE4 in December 2024. The phone is anticipated to launch in March or April of 2025. The new model will likely resemble the base iPhone 14 in design. Rumored features include a 6.1-inch OLED display, Face ID, and a newer A-chip series that will encompass Apple AI. It is expected to feature a 48-megapixel rear camera. The device may come with 8 gigs of RAM to support new functionalities, including Apple Intelligence. It will also be the first iPhone equipped with an Apple-designed 5G modem. Approximately 8.6 million units are projected to be produced through the first quarter of 2025. Now, the last iPhone SE was released in March of 2022, making this update significant for Apple's budget smartphone lineup. The iPhone SE targets users looking for a compact and more affordable iPhone option compared to flagship models. Now, before we move on to the next story, there is a rumored larger screen for the iPhone SE4. There is a 6.1-inch display, which is confirmed to be true, and they are going to move forward with that. There is a rumored 6.3 or 6.4, possibly 6.5-inch iPhone SE Plus model. I've seen some rumors online. If we get any confirmation that they are in production, then we will bring that forward and bring you all the details. But as of now, those are just rumors as far as I can tell. I just want to put that out there that you might see 2 different models iPhone SE. The smaller one is confirmed and given the green light by Apple. The larger one may or may not be given the green light to go ahead and go for production. But this is basically an iPhone 14. It appears they've had a number of leftover parts, whether from their suppliers, and they said, well, screw it, let's just put these iPhone 14s out and call them an SE. Now, they're not literally just sitting around and they're going to rebrand them, but they have displays, right, from the iPhone 14 that they're going to use for the SE. They have vibration motors that were designed to fit in the iPhone 14 that they designed that they're going to put into the new iPhone SE. So this will be a lot like an iPhone 14 rebranded, so to speak, just at a cheaper price. So look forward to that. Pixel news. Carlos, I told you we had Pixel news here. So, what is going on with Pixel? Well, we got new news. We are the home channel. I like to say we're the official, unofficial home of Google Pixel. I've had a lot of our subscribers, a lot of our viewers have had, if not every single Pixel device, a majority of them, and I date back even to the Nexus days, even to the G1 days, the very first phone Google put out ever. I've had all of them, and I've had each one probably numerous times, right? I went over that with the 3A. I had the 3A. I had the 3A and 3A XL. I probably had 3 or 4 of the regulars and the XLs. Why? I'm a sucker for tech that I like. So, anyways, Google Tensor G5 and G6 chips are set to introduce significant performance upgrades with new configurations and architectural enhancements. Here we go. So the new G5 upcoming CPU in the Pixel 10 is going to be manufactured by TSMC. It's going to be 3 nanometer, second generation 3 nanometer foundation. You're going to see an extraordinary performance boost over from going into the G5 and the Pixel 10 to where we're at now with the G4 and the Pixel 9. Extraordinary performance boost. You're going to see at least 40%, 50% performance boost right off the bat. So the new Tensor G5, which again is going to be in the upcoming Pixel 10 series, features a 1+5+2 core configuration utilizing the ARM Cortex X4, while the upcoming G6 will switch to a more powerful 1+6 configuration featuring the unannounced ARM Cortex X930. Benchmarks for the TPU in the Tensor G5 indicate a 14% performance increase compared to the previous generation. Now, you will not see a drastic performance boost in the TPU. However, 14% is a decent boost. But the Pixel's TPU has always been good. The TPU, the Tensor Processing Unit, yes, they named their processor after a part of a processor. Their TPU has always performed well. So I didn't expect to see a huge boost there. We're going to see a huge boost in just regular single core benchmark scores. We're going to see a huge boost in multi-core scores. But their Tensor Processing Unit has always been strong. That's the part of the processor that handles all the AI stuff, all the on-device stuff, all the under-the-hood stuff that your Google Pixel is processing when it comes to AI and on-device enhancements. That's the TPU. So that's always been strong. That's never been a criticism of mine. But you will see a 14% performance increase compared to the TPU in the Pixel 9 series. Now, the Tensor G5 will shift its GPU from ARM Mali to one designed by Imagination Technologies, which supports ray tracing and GPU virtualization. The new Imagination Technologies GPU is also expected to consume 15% less power, enhancing overall efficiency. Now, Tensor G5 is codenamed Laguna, while the G6 and the Pixel 11 is codenamed Malibu. Again, the CPU, the new Tensor G5 and the upcoming Pixel 10, codenamed Laguna, while the G6 CPU and the upcoming Pixel 11 is going to be known as Malibu, each reflecting their respective configurations. Speculation includes the possibility of a powerful and efficient Tensor G6 designed with updated cores and configurations, anticipated for release in 2026. Now, the G6's architecture shows similarities to Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite. Pixel fans can jump for joy, finally, which prioritizes performance cores over efficiency cores. There are questions about the timeliness and accuracy of the leaked specifications for the upcoming Tensor chip models, but these leaks come from the code of Android and sources from within the Pixel team at Google as well as TSMC. So, Pixel users, you have a very, very bright future. If you are a Pixel lover, you have a very bright future. We're going to have a lot to look forward to, and I cannot wait. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, our eSIM Studios channel. We are the unofficial home of the Google Pixel, although we are officially hashtag Team Pixel, and we are Pixel super fans. So take that for what you will. But you know, the weird thing is they've never told me I couldn't say anything about Pixel. They've never told me I can't post anything or post this video or post this comment or anything. They've never told me anything, and I just tell it like it is, right? If I like something, I like it. If I don't, I don't, right? I try to be honest, but like other content creators, never had that issue. So I don't know what they're doing wrong. But anyways, now getting back to iPhone. What do you got here? Cheaper price, older design, modern yet throttle chipset. For which one? What do you for the Pixel? Oh, you're talking about the iPhone SE. Got you. My bad. I'm behind in the chat. I do apologize. So check this out. We're about halfway through. We're more than halfway through, but I got like 2 or 3 left. So, Apple's first iOS 18.2 beta adds more AI features and ChatGPT integration. I think I'm going to download the developer beta on my 16 Pro Max and do a video on some of these AI features, right? And maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I got a lot scheduled, so we'll see if I can get to it. But I will do that here in the future. I can promise you that. Apple has released the first developer beta, iOS 18.2, introducing enhanced AI features including GPT integration and image generation tools. Kind of looks cool. I've seen a couple of videos online, but I'm like, if that's all it does, the Pixel does way more, right? Samsung does way more. They're just barely Apple's just barely getting their toes in the water, while Samsung and Google are doing back dives off of an Olympic board, right? Apple's way behind, but this is the start of their AI. Here we go. iOS 18.2 beta expands access to Apple's AI capabilities, including new tools like Genmoji for emoji creation and Image Playground for image generation. Now, this update enhances AI-powered writing features and includes visual intelligence. We've seen those a few videos online surfacing in the last 12 to 24 hours. Now, that allows users to search using their iPhone camera. Now, I believe Google Pixel has had this feature for years already, but iPhone's just now getting it. iOS 18.1 is set to officially launch soon, introducing the first batch of Apple Intelligence upgrades, which includes a smarter Siri and notification of summaries. Now, the initial announcement of Apple Intelligence features were made at WWDC 2024, with subsequent updates planned in stages, right? A notable upcoming feature for Siri will allow it to interpret on-screen actions and respond to user requests, although this is not yet available in the current beta. Apple has also released a beta for Mac OS Sequoia 15.2 featuring new AI tools, though Genmoji is not included in that version. iOS 18.2 beta is now available for developers in more regions than before. The introduction of these AI features signifies Apple's continued investment in improving user interaction and functionality across its devices. We will have to see how that goes. Stay tuned. I will try to upload a video. I am a part of Apple Developer. I do have an Apple Developer account, and I believe that's the only way you can get the beta version on your iPhone. So I think I might try and do that tomorrow. We'll see. Busy man. Now, more Apple news. Apple confirms exciting week ahead of announcements for Mac starting on Monday. If you have a MacBook, never been interested in MacBook, but if you have a MacBook, good news for you. Apple confirms exciting week ahead, right? Focusing on new Macs and the transition to the M4 chipset. The announcements are anticipated to include updates. Check this out. For MacBook Pro, iMac, and Mac Mini, all powered by the new M4 chip. The base model, the 14-inch MacBook Pro, is expected to feature a base 16 gigs of RAM, 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports, and upgrades to a 10-core CPU and GPU. Higher-end MacBook Pro models will introduce M4 Pro and M4 Max chips for enhanced performance. The 24-inch iMac will receive an upgrade from the M3 to the M4 chip, likely also boosting RAM to 16, a base model 16 gigs of RAM, and adding 2 CPU cores to that M4 chip. The Mac Mini will undergo its most significant redesign in years, becoming smaller and adopting a form factor similar to Apple TV. Apple is conducting in-person hands-on events for select creators in Los Angeles, not eSIM Studios, maybe next year, during this announcement week. The specifics of how these announcements will be delivered, though, through a press release or a launch event, which is doubtful, but probably do a PR release. It just remains unclear. Users are encouraged to share their excitement and intentions regarding purchasing new M4 powered Macs during this event. So it might be a YouTube video, I'm assuming. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. I'll definitely keep you updated with whatever the announcement is or however they choose to make that announcement. So, iPhone is the little capture button. Why do these companies like to copy iPhone? I have no idea. Sure, it looks nice, but the dumbest, and I can't wait to make this video, and it'll be a little teaser. The dumbest feature I've ever seen on a phone is this capture button. It looks cool, but when I use it, I'm always hitting it by accident. I'm always activating it. It's always screwing up whether what I'm watching, or it's always screwing up the picture that I'm trying to take, like I'm already in the camera app. And it's just, the placement is weird. I don't ever use it. It's a waste of space. It's a good idea, but they should have not included that in the final version. But you are starting to see some companies implement this stupid idea on their phones, and I wish they would just leave this alone, but here we go. Oppo has unveiled the Find X8 series of high-end phones in China. The new phone offers a MediaTek Dimensity 9400 flagship processor. Oppo previously confirmed that the Find X Pro has an Apple-style shutter button supporting swipes for zooming in and out as well. So Oppo has been teasing the arrival of the Find 8 series for weeks now, offering a drip feed of details in the run-up to the event. The day is finally here, though it's just unveiled its newest flagship Android phones in China. Oppo previously confirmed the phones offer the MediaTek Dimensity 9400 flagship processor, Hasselblad branded cameras, wireless charging capabilities, and IP68 and IP69 ratings. We just discussed that. We're looking forward to seeing that in the new OnePlus 13 device. As you know, Oppo owns OnePlus, and a lot of the similarities, a lot of the functions you see on Oppo phones, including Hasselblad, you'll see on the OnePlus phones. I just hope this new OnePlus 13 does not have this stupid iPhone shutter button. The brand also revealed some fancy new software features thanks to ColorOS 15, similar to the OxygenOS 15 that we just discussed. Perhaps the most notable inclusion for photography is the reflection eraser tool for photos that has been touted during the launch of this new X Find 8. Now, Samsung has had reflection erasing tools in their gallery app for their photos for the last 3 years, maybe 3 or 4 years. So Samsung devices have had this for a while. Oppo is introducing this to their devices. However, hey, look, that's one feature I will gladly accept. The stupid shutter button on the side, not so much. But the phones also offer a so-called shadowless snapshot capability. Check this out. The company says you simply need to raise your hand to capture a blurry, free images. Instead of using a dedicated snapshot mode, the company compared this capability to the iPhone 16 Pro Max as seen in an image that I did not have ready for you. But they're basically saying you don't have to, when you take a photo, you don't have to freeze and try not to move a millimeter while you take the photo. Basically saying you can just raise your hand, go like that, and it takes crystal clear photos. So it'll take a blurry image and make it crystal clear. So the Oppo Find X8 Pro is a contender for best camera phone. It certainly could be. I don't know if we're going to get one or not. I would like to get one, but we'll see. The OnePlus 13 is probably very similar, and I'll probably just get that. Well, not probably. I will get that. The Find X8 Pro is the most premium offering of the two that Oppo launched, bringing a 6.78-inch micro curved display. Where have we all heard that before? OnePlus 13. A 5,900 milliamp hour battery, 80-watt wired charging, 50-watt wireless charging. The Pro model also stands out on the camera front, though with Oppo previously confirming that it has 2 unspecified periscope cameras. 2. Those on the hunt for the best camera phone might want to keep this in their mind. The company has also adopted an Apple-style camera shutter button, much like the iPhone 16. This camera key supports both presses for capturing photos and swipes for zooming in and out. So this is effectively the first Android phone with this type of multi-function camera key, dedicated camera key, physical camera key on the side. Now, the Oppo Find, that was the Pro, the Oppo Find X8, the base model. If you like compact, a little smaller, not these ginormous phones, this one might be the one for you, right? So if you don't need a pro level flagship phone, but you do want a new phone, this one might be it. So the standard Find X8 might be right up your alley. Interestingly, Oppo claimed this model has the world's first, check this out. Oppo's claiming this model has the world's first inverted periscope camera setup with aperture 2.6 and a 1.95-inch sensor size. The manufacturer says this helps deliver a 33% smaller module size. So the Find X8 availability. This is seemingly a China-only launch. Womp, womp, womp. But the good news is that the company executive of Oppo noted back at Mobile World Congress earlier this year that their next-gen Find flagship phones were coming to a global stage, meaning they'll probably, well, not probably, they are launching in China only. And then after a certain given amount of time, whether it be 1, 2, or 3 months, they will launch globally. I would definitely keep this in mind if you are interested in getting a new phone, especially if you're in America in the next 3 to 4 months. These look like really good phones. Really, really good phones. It'll be similar to the OnePlus 13, but Oppo will have some Find X8 and Find X8 Pro only features that you'll find on those devices that they will keep separate from the OnePlus phone. They have a lot of similarities, and they do share a lot of hardware and a lot of software, but they do reserve some special components for each device. So keep the Oppo Find X8 in the back of your mind whenever you do want to upgrade next, because I think these are going to be pretty cool. Minus that little stupid camera switch. But I think you could probably turn that off. I think you can turn it off on the iPhone. I just haven't done it yet. Honestly, I haven't picked up the iPhone a lot. Sorry. It's just not fun to use. Okay. We got into the MacBook production, no? Let me see here. We got into... Okay, well, here's our last one. Let's do this. So the M4 MacBook Air. No, we did not talk about the MacBook Air. The M4 MacBook Air production is going to begin soon. M4 Mac Studio is going to be delayed. So good news for MacBook Air users, bad news, or potential buyers. Bad news for the Mac Studio. Mac Studio is the super expensive, like $7,000 computer that you see YouTubers like MKBHD and some of these channels that have millions upon millions of subscribers. A lot of them use these Mac Studios. some smaller movie production companies use Mac Studio to produce content, to produce shows, to produce movies. These were like 7-8 grand, like insanely expensive. Those are delayed, quite frankly. But let's get into the quick details. So Apple will start production of the M4 versions of the 13 and 15-inch MacBook Air models ahead of an early 2025 launch. So Bloomberg's Mark Gurman reports there are no new design changes planned for the MacBook Air models, and the focus will be on the M4 chip. Apple's working to bring the M4 chip to its entire Mac lineup. And the first Macs with the M4, M4 Pro, and M4 Pro Max are set to be introduced next week. Apple has plans for a new Mac Mini, MacBook Pro, and iMac models. The MacBook Air models will follow in the early months of 2025, between January and March. After that, Apple plans to refresh the Mac Studio. Gurman claims that the Mac Studio was on track to be updated alongside the MacBook Air, but is now going to see a refresh between March and June of 2025. In prior articles, he has said that the Mac Studio would come out in mid-2025. So it's unclear what has changed, but I'm sure they're just sorting it out. Have no fears. It'll be around here, probably, as we mentioned, mid-2025. MacBook Pro, the M4 Mac Pro, is in development as well, but is not likely to come out into the second half of 2025. Around that time, MacBook Air models come out early 2025. Apple will also refresh the iPhone SE, iPad Air, the low-cost iPad base model, and introduce a new keyboard design for the iPad Air. 2025 will also see the debut of a new Home Hub device that has a small square screen. And that will do it for today's news. I do appreciate everybody for joining us. Daniel says Apple Card is their killer feature. Yeah, Apple Card. So they have their own debit credit card, correct? Is that what you're talking about? I know. I think the two things that I think people are keeping, the two features that I believe are gripping Apple people from leaving is iMessage and FaceTime. I think. Everything else, my Android phone does better. Maybe I'm just used to it. Maybe I need to spend more time on my iPhone, but I haven't picked it up in a couple days. But it's all good. I got to run, guys. Thank you for joining me today. Daniel says iPhone might not be fun, but it gets literally addictive if you buy into the ecosystem. Yes, that's why I haven't. That's why I have not bought into the ecosystem. I refuse because I don't want to get drawn into that. See what I'm saying? And I agree. I completely agree with you. I'm purposely not buying AirPods. I'm purposely not buying an iPad. I'm purposely not buying a MacBook for that reason. I don't want to get sucked in. So, yeah, I bet it's the best in the world. I mean, it's proof is in the pudding. But I think, Samsung ecosystem got to be second, right? Pixel ecosystem, I do not like. I love the Pixel. Probably my favorite phone. Y'all know that. There's no denying that. But I absolutely hate Pixel Buds. And the Pixel tablet is not worth buying. Flat out. It doesn't even have GPS on it. So why would I buy it? Literally does not have a GPS chip in it. Why would I buy a tablet that doesn't even care about tablet stuff? So Google has a long way to go to work on their ecosystem. I think Samsung's the second best. Now, I haven't tried Xiaomi or what are the other ones out there? OnePlus, obviously, right? They got buds, they got tablets. What else is out here? Probably I got a lot of Samsung stuff, so I'm kind of in the Samsung. It is nice. It's very nice to have your stuff all sync up, right? Just boom, 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 boom. Everything works in motion. Apple's like fine-tuned it, and I get it. Samsung's not at that level yet, but I believe they're close. and then there's a huge drop off after Samsung. So it's Apple, Samsung, and then I don't know, OnePlus, Google, maybe. Google's got a long ways to go, but good news is they're getting their phones. That's the foundation of a good ecosystem is your phone, and then probably say obviously a computer. That's the thing. Google doesn't even have any computers. I mean, they got Chromebooks, but you know what I mean. Anyways, I got to get out of here, guys. Thank you for joining us. eSIM Studios podcast live stream number 227. Appreciate the time. Thank you very much, and appreciate y'all sticking with me. I'm going to get this new show fine-tuned, and it'll be a well-oiled machine here in no time. So thank you guys very much. What is today? Okay, if y'all are still watching, I'm going to put out we're going to do a giveaway tomorrow. I'm going to put a community post out. I'll go through at the very least, it'll be an Amazon gift card. So I have some stuff here, but I need to verify that I can actually give it away. And then, so at the very least, we'll do an Amazon gift card and potentially more. So join me tomorrow. We will do a giveaway tomorrow on our live stream. Appreciate the time. Thank you very much. And please have a safe afternoon. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.